Hey, good morning, everybody. Hi. Hey, so glad everyone can make it to the OAIDA Expo. A couple of quick things we're going to go over, and then we'll introduce our first speaker. First of all, is there anyone here who's not a member? I'm always required to do my sales speech if that's fine. All right, so for like 2 months. Yay! But that's good. All right. Well, that being passed through, that gets you through past a lot of stuff, and we're just going to introduce Justin Osburn from SmartGroups. He's going to give you a lot of information that'll help you with your business, and he does a lot of things: warranty, reinsurance, 20 groups. All right. Okay.
Well, Mike, thank you for that. I want to thank the association for having me coming again this year. Got a lot to talk about. Don't normally dress like this. A lot of connection. Guys didn't make it, so I said you can take these in a hoodie or no, not at all. So thank you. Hoodie was really nice of me. Absolutely. We're car dealers. You're not here to make a fashion statement. I was like, okay. So I'm pleased to be here. We've got a little bit of time together. The talk today is practical playbook to grow your sales department to 50 retail units and beyond. My name is Justin Osburn. If you don't know me, I've got a couple of different companies in the automotive business. Ours is automotive reinsurance concepts. It's a warranty and insurance company. We've got the best F&I training in the country by far. And that's our specialty. That's our core business. It's setting up dealers with reinsurance as well as working with their income development in the F&I department. How to get lenders, how to test deals, how to move your PPR to $2,500 back and beyond. Hey guys, how you doing? You missed the music. It was awesome. SmartGroups, 20 Groups Reimagined. We also have a 20 group company. If they're not in the 20 group, I would highly recommend one of the best takeaways you can take today, whether it's mine or somebody else's, is to join the 20 group. Inside the 20 group, you're with 19 other peers, dealers that are walking in your shoes, struggling, fighting the same fight that you're fighting, so that you can get around them and avoid landmines and mistakes that they've made, and also pick up best practices so that you can propel your business on a fast track. Everybody okay with making more money and growing faster? Yeah. Faster's okay, right? That's what we're talking about today. Briefly, if you don't know me, I didn't know my business up here, but I'm a consultant for mega dealers in the United States. So my average client runs 500 to 800 sales per month in retail, up to 5,000 a month and beyond. So I'm inside mega dealers a lot, and small ones too. My team of consultants is in both small and large retail dealers. So I think the advantage of the perspective of why they have some value today is because I'm in different dealerships every day. I see this way to do it, that way to do it, and that way to do it. And I would say as I go through this playbook of moving your volume, I would encourage you to look at it like a library. When you go to a library, there's some books you check out, but you leave most of them on the shelf, right? But if you find 2 or 3 good books to check out, hey, maybe you took the library worth it, right? So this talk, maybe 1 or 2 hopefully things that you find valuable that you can write down. You're welcome to take pictures of the slides. You're welcome to record the audio if you want to. I highly recommend it because I'm going to give it some power today. Formerly, I was with NIEDA years ago. I was a retail consultant, travel country consultant, retail dealers for NIEDA. I rewrote the Certified Master Dealer Program, CMD, was a senior instructor, which covers all curriculum from accounting to PDC, every department of the dealership service and stops. And was their 20 group model for the retail program. I'm a U.S. Army veteran, come from a long family of U.S. Army veterans, and a proud husband and father. So that's about me. What is this remind you of? Doesn't matter, right? Anybody feel that way at work?
Yep.
You're doing everything. You're selling cars. You're working hard. You're hiring people. You're covering the detail guy calls in sick. You're running cars back and forth to third-party service. You're closing deals. You're trying to figure out how to get more lenders. You're doing QuickBooks on Sunday. You're doing everything. It's a one-man band. This talk is about how to go from 50 and beyond. And I'm going to take this in the way I look at it, which is stair-stepping the volume. So there's like glass ceilings in the retail world, and the way I look at it as far as volume. And to make it nice and tight, it's not quite as tight, but it usually jumps in increments of 20. So you grow from 0 to 20, and then you hit a little bit of a wall. You grow from 20 to 40, you hit a little bit of a wall. You grow from 40 to 60, and so on and so forth. The larger you get, the higher that ceiling starts to evolve because you start to figure things out. But it's easy to think in your mind that these growth spurts can be compartmentalized into these movements of 20 cars, at least below 100. Once you get over 100, it changes. But below 100 cars, you can conceptualize like, okay, I'm at 20 and I feel stuck. Anybody ever been there? Or I'm at 15 and I feel stuck. Or I'm at 25 and I feel stuck. And then you figure that out. Probably at 20. And once you figure that out, then you're like, okay, I'm stuck at 40, right? You figure out how to get past 45. So there's these, in my mind, that's kind of the way the car business works in the retail world. But at 0 to 20, you're a one-man band, and that's the problem. You're here, and you're here, and you're every player on the football team. And that becomes difficult to organize your time, to manage your time, to hire people to move on. I want to tell you a story about, we'll do the story of this talk over the next few minutes, and it's about a guy named Daresol. Daresol, this is a picture of him years ago. I met Derek in 2017 again, on my 20 years. It was his first 20 years. When I met Derek, selling 20 cars a month. And just smart kid, good looking kid, smart kid, had all the tools, great family. And, you know, he was a real, he's a questioner, and he's questioning everything. This. So this is Derek when I met him. Now, he's in the town, just to make sure it's like, well, it's different for me, Justin, you don't understand, my customers are different. Okay. Derek's in a town of 1,500 people in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas. I'm a married guy. I travel all the time. I go to Derek's all the time, 4 times a year, practically. I drive down from Kansas City. It's an hour to the closest hotel. I mean, he's in the middle of nowhere. Selling 20 cars a month, that's where he's from. His family is a background of farmers. He came to the 20 group, and he was struggling to get past 20. And his goal was to figure that out. And had a great 20 group experience. I'll never forget, I was in Sarasota, Florida. I got a phone call one day. The 20 group was over. Derek packed up his bag. He's got all this stuff. He's, man, I'm going to kill it. I'm so excited. I think I got a game plan. Calls me 2 weeks later and says, Justin, I think I'm going to drop out of the 20 group. I was like, why are you going to drop out of the 20 group? Like, I think this is really going to help you. Trust me, that it's a small investment. It's a huge return. Why are you over to do that? Well, in the 20 group, we do these things called best practices, and that's where everybody gets 5 payments, share a best practice, and something that they've done that's worked in their business. And you can imagine 19 other dealers, like all of you sharing for 5 minutes, something that you did that worked really well, right? And so but a lot of it's benefits, right? So we, back then it was Podium just came out, and everybody was jumping on Podium, and this, and Pelican, and all this jazz. So Derek says, well, I took a lot of notes, and when I went home, I signed up for all these things, like all of them, and I didn't think I could afford them. I didn't think I got a business. And I was like, whoa. I was like, you got to pick 1 or 2 things, and not everything, and go back and deploy your business. So it was a cool little learning curve. But he stuck with it. He hung in there, and continued with his journey to grow his dealership. And I'm going to introduce you to, just so you can get your impatient person, this is a 59-second clip, okay?
I'm D3, and this is the story. I'm 24, 25 years old. I'm fresh out of college. I just started a career in fish farming with my grandfather. I'm newly married, and we're starting our little family. And our first big purchase is a lightly used SUV. We found the one we wanted. We made the deal over the phone, and all we got to do is just pick up the vehicle, or so we thought. When we get to this big store, the vehicle's not even there. It's not ready. We ended up spending 5 hours at that dealership. We're completely disappointed when we got it. There's got to be a better way. As fate would have it, a couple of months later, my mother-in-law inherited a couple of old Cadillacs. She wanted to liquidate the rig, so I cleaned them up and made a little commission, and that's kind of what got me hooked. We learned everything from scratch. started in a small shed in 2012 with one customer and one car and just myself, and gradually built the business over a period of the last few years. Today, we have a giant dealership, over 40 team members today. We sell over 100 cars a month, and we can service your every auto need. Now you know it's all about the customer, and it's always been about you.
So the moral of the story was, Dare started from nothing. He started with one car and a dream. And he had the same challenges that you're having in your business. Just like any other dealer, they got to 100, got to 500. They started very similar to you. So how do we do it? What's the program here? And I'm going to roll this playbook out very quickly for you. And but let me tell you this. I'm just going to preface this with that this isn't the only key to growth. And I do a talk, I did it 2 years ago here, the 4 pillars of sales. You can find it on my YouTube, it's free. But what it talks about is, it's like an airplane. When you're in a 747, I travel all the time. So when you're in a 747, I don't know if you guys have ever seen those levers that control the engines. But they push those forward all together when you're taking off, right? They don't pick one thruster and push it forward. How many know that you've got full of fuel, full of bags, full of passengers, and the captain would push one lever forward, you're never going to get off the ground spinning that. Does that make sense? So in retail, I promise you, there's only 4 levers to growth in volume. Now, volume and profitability, 2 different conversations. If you're like, hey, I want to be more profitable, different conversation. I'm talking about volume. In volume, there's only 4 levers, and they're inventory, lead, salespeople, and sales and processes. I'm only talking about how to structure your team to grow today. But don't go home and think that this is the only magic key. There are other elements to work. Does that make sense? Is that fair? So how do you get past that first ceiling of 20? Usually you're a one-man band, or maybe your spouse is working with you in the business, and you're trying to get past this first roadblock. And it all starts with hiring the salesperson. Once you get to 20, you should be making enough money where you can hire your first salesperson. Because what you need to do is buy some of your time back, right? You got to get away from some of this customer interaction, shaking hands, kissing babies every day. You got to get some of that, and the best way to do that is to hire a salesperson. Now, the salesperson today looks a lot different than the salesperson 15 years ago. Anybody ever been to an Apple store? You show up, you got a little person with a little Apple shirt with a iPad, and like, hey, what's your name? What's your mobile number? I know everything about you, right? And we'll have a person come over there and help you in just a few minutes. I mean, that's the new customer touch. That's the new customer experience. So, unfortunately, our salespeople today aren't the killers, driving Cadillacs with gold chains and the bracelets that are from, with the New York accent, silver tongues. That's important because the salesperson today doesn't control gross profit like they used to. They used to be paid on gross profit, and they used to be good salespeople. I haven't found very many good salespeople lately. I mean, hopefully you get one. I know guys selling 60 cars a month, but it's different. The caliber of person that we're bringing into the dealership today is different. I'll talk about big plans specifically here in a minute. Step 1 is to hire your first salesperson. This buys some of your time back. Now, unfortunately, you don't have to sell 20 cars anymore, but you're still going to sell 10 cars, 8, 10 cars, because you have to, right? Because they're going to move the needle forward. But at least your salesperson can take over. Even if you haven't heard of the road to sale, common franchise dealerships, being great, that's right, car down, well, think of those first 3 steps as your salesperson's job. Meet and greet the customer well, smile well, hire people on attitude, hire people on your impression, your intuition of them. Do I like this person? Instead of just filling a slot. Do I think this person would have good communication skills with my customer? The perfect personality for this, if you're in the personality profile, is a social butterfly. Somebody that is just, have you ever been to dinner with somebody that the first time you walk away, like, man, that person is fun to be around. That's the salesperson that you're looking for, especially the first one. Now, just take a step further, you can hire an A-plus, alpha dog, drive through any wall, run over anybody, and anything, they're knocking on a goal, to knock down a wall, and you get a goal. That person will work, and it could be a good leader for you down the road. But if you're looking for a team of social butterflies, people to take care of your customers, to make them feel good, right? You don't want to hire introverts. That knocks off 50% of your applications, right? So you don't want to hire introverts, they won't work. Try. So sell 15 to 20 units a month, that's what they'll do, their pay plan is a 250 to a 350 flat. Pay on flat. Well, there's this argument, anybody do cardio right now? Oh man, we're the West. So new car dealers are still trying to figure out what's this whole flat thing. I don't know what this flat thing. They're not going to work for us. Well, you know, if you do the math on a 350 as a benchmark, the benchmark's 324 is what you should pay a salesperson. $324 per car, splits all in everything. The benchmark is $324 per car sold. If you run the math on gross profit, then you would be at $400. So we're talking about arguing over $78. This, man, we knocked it out of the park on that customer, a 5-pounder. Okay, but yeah, you lost money on the last sales. Good for you. That's all we should do. So, now what do? You got this salesperson, hopefully you got the right attitude, hopefully you got social butterfly, they're shaking hands, kissing babies, while you're trying to do some accounting and wash a car in the back, right? Doing everything else. What do? Well, you're still going to sell 8 to 10 cars, and that's going to get you to what? That's going to get you around 30. Listen, retail salespeople, this isn't the franchise world. Retail salespeople, you cannot have an expectation for them to sell 8 cars and it's okay. This isn't the Ford store, where it's like, oh, you only sold 8, it's okay, don't quit. You know, we need you to it's okay, you take vacation, that's fine. We'll see you next month. We'll get your parking place if you do 9 next month. In the retail world, look, the number's 16. 16 cars per salesperson. Get you thinking of. They can do it. Now, you're also going to have to manage other areas of business, but you're still going to have to spend paper, and you're going to have to protect the gross profit. You can't expect to hire the Apple iPad person and expect that they're going to be controlling your gross profit. I have to honorably mention, if you can't buy cars, then you are going to lose and go bankrupt. This is part of it. Buying cars is everything. It's an appreciating asset. You can't outrun buying bad cars. If you're not good at buying cars, you better fix that, or this is all just a waste of time. Does that make sense? So you're going to sell 5 to 10. Your salesperson's going to sell. You're going to sell 8 to 10. Your salesperson's going to sell 15 to 20. That's going to get you to 30. That's going to get you to 30 cars. So we busted that ceiling of 20. Now, let's look at pay plans for a minute. Pay plans for salespeople. I'm going to give you a couple of different ideas. Because, listen, if you lined 100 independent dealers selling 100 cars a month against that back wall and ask them to offer the best pay plan, you're going to get 101 different answers. Right? And that's okay. You're independent because you don't want to listen to the regional auditor when it comes to nationwide operation math lesson. So, it's okay to have variations that fit your culture, fit your business, right? You got to figure out what works for you, but I'm going to give you some good best practices. The first one is what I call an indirect lending flat pay plan. This is the idea that you pay the salesperson a $250 flat on cash deals and a $350 flat on finance deals. Why would you do that? Well, you do that to encourage your sales staff to pay attention to whether they're getting a loan or not. Now, when you're selling less than 20, the big blind spots out there. Right? You're not even thinking about it. You can't even spell it. I was at a conference one time, somebody came up and asked me what my name was. That's okay. That's okay. Stand for finance and insurance. So, now, in today's car business, everybody is moving to the back end. Preloads and back end. Preloads and back end. That's where the money is. Why? Because the front end gross profits are continuing to crash. Anybody experience that? Anybody see the decline in gross profit in the last 5 years? Sure, right. Then why? Because all of our customers display the costs all over these apps, like so on and so on. So 250 on flat, 350 on finance deals encouraged my sales team to pay attention to whether we're getting a loan or not. If I can make an extra $100, if I can work with the salesperson and say, hey, we've got eight banks that are going to be fighting over your business. We got really competitive rates. Why don't you just give us your shot and see if we can beat your banks rate? You know, if you're working with a subprime, if you're working with a subprime customer base, this is even not hard, right? Because they just want you to hear you say, you're good. Right? So 250 flat on cash deals, 350 on finance deals, retention flats. Retention flats, if you want to create the kind of culture where you're investing in your employees' tenure, then you can instead of giving them a raise or paying them a salary, then you just say, look, you've been here 1 year, we're gonna move your commission from 300 to 310. And of course, you might do this against withdrawal, right? That'll make sure people can pay their bills. So I would have this against any of these pay plans against withdrawal. That's how. Withdrawal. Everybody know what withdrawal is? So after 2 years, congratulations, Dan, you made it 2 years. We're gonna move you to 320. You know, whatever your numbers you want your numbers to be. If you're bringing in somebody completely unexperienced, you might start at 250. If you're trying to recruit somebody, you might start at 324. Here at Spence, this is one everybody loves because we can't wait to go to the car lot and figure out how we can sell people more money today, right? I got a new idea. Let's take all the units that we're losing money on that have been here, that have a birthday, that have been here a year, and let's pay everybody $1,000 to sell those cars today. Okay. Well, you can make that deal too. Just joking. That's pretty good. So, $300 flat, and it's split at 12, $500 split at 12. $500 split at 16. It's just rough examples, but I'm just trying to show you that there's a tiered pay plan on the flat as well. So I'll pay you $250 a car, but when you get to 12, 8. When you get to 12, 13, I'm gonna give you $500. When you get to 18, I'm gonna give you $500. Now, if you notice, the flat system is promoting what? Volume. You get paid when you sell another car. You don't fall asleep because you did that 5 pounder on the first and all of a sudden you want to go fishing the rest of the month. Right? So it's the only way they make more money is when they sell more cars. Now who's responsible for gross profit? You. Right? So while you're not having to shake hands on the lawn as much anymore and say, hey, come in here, let's sit down and see what you qualify for. You're gonna eliminate some of that. You still have to be willing to get up from the desk and go sit down with the customer and say, hey, man, look at your credit, looks pretty good. You know, we're at a $550 payment. That's a great deal. You should buy it for $50. So you're still gonna have to have customer interaction. Then we're gonna probably have to spend the paper ourselves still, right? If that's what we do. Now, we got a salesperson. You've been alleviated a little bit off of that demand. You got a little bit more time, a little bit more time. What do you do now? Well, if you think about this, if the salespeople are selling, I'm using 20 as an example, the actual statistic is 16.8, I think, is the average independent retail salesperson per month. 20 is easier. So once you have a salesperson, they're doing 20, you're doing 10, you're at 30, you're now gonna grow unless you have another salesperson. You're not gonna grow. Justin, we did 31 last month. Do it again. And then call me in 90 days when you're ready to quit, exhausted, burnt out. You can't do it. You can't do it sustainably. By the way, not only, hey, get excited for yourself for doing 31 or 35 or 40 with you and the salesperson. Get to 60. It's impossible. Someone's over here. Once you have one salesperson hired between you and the salesperson, you're selling 25 to 30 units, decide to hire a salesperson number 2. Keep the same pay plan structure. But here's a big tip that took me years to learn. This is a good one. Anybody ever done this? You got a good salesperson, they're doing a pretty good job. You hire them to salesperson number 2. You feel bad about asking salesperson number 1 to help salesperson number 2. Salesperson number 1 doesn't really get paid to do that. And so then you come in with your cup of coffee and it's like, hey, Brandon, good to see you. Thanks for coming to work today, day 1. We'll get to your new hire paperwork. Listen, I'm going to go grab a cup of coffee. I'll be right back. And you come back 3 weeks later. And you're like, where did Brandon go? And the salesperson number 1 says, oh, he quit 2 weeks ago. And it's like, dang, I just started recruiting. Right? So here's a tip. Pay a good salesperson a differential, a short-term differential. A little bump, short-term, to say, listen, I'm going to need your help training this salesperson. I'm going to pay for it. But I'm not going to create a new pay plan. I'm not putting you on salary. This isn't going to last forever. But for 2 weeks, I'd like for you to show this person the rope. But for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to give you an extra $500. Well, or whatever. Okay? Well, now you've just taken all of the, I don't know why it's got me helping that person. I don't want to help that person. They're going to take myself. So, I mean, or, you know, what they do in the technician world is they'll have a brand new loop tech work with an an A tech, and the A tech gets all the hours with the lead tech. So I mean, there's different ways to do this, but the key is to make it temporary. Make it temporary. Don't let it bolt onto your pay plan. Because once that person's trained, you don't want to keep paying that money to the first salesperson. So keep everything down. By the way, let me give you another project on this subject. When you do bonuses, this is great. When you do bonuses, make it for 30 days. Because the longer a bonus is in place, because you get busy, you forget, anybody ever put a bonus structure up and said this is for 30 days, and 45 days later in the middle of the next month, it was like, hey, I just did X, Y, Z from last month, and you're like, oh, I have to address that. I guess you're right, I guess hey, we don't really need to do that this month, right? But if you give yourself a backdoor by saying this is good for 30 days, and I'll change it on the needs of the business next month. And so what happens is your salespeople start saying, okay, this month I'm going to focus on this until we get that bonus. I'm expecting that Justin's going to come in and change it next month. Not part of my name. See the difference? So that's a big pro tip, not a big lot. So we hired a second salesperson. We're going to move the needle from 30 to 35. You're going to still sell some cars, but you're sliding down. This is the hardest place, in my opinion. This is the hardest place for an independent retail dealer in their car dealership. And that's moving from 40 to 60. It's the hardest place. If you can get to 40, you think, oh my gosh, I was making money at 20 when it was just me. Now I got to pay people and expenses, and we're trying to expand, I'm making less money. But I'm selling 40 cars, now I'm selling 50 cars. It's the hardest place. It's the thicket. It's the woods. Getting past this ceiling is the most difficult time, in my opinion. I don't know if I've ever said my opinion. It's the most difficult time for it's the most difficult time for a car dealer. And here's why. Here's why this is so hard. Because you got to now move to start building a management team to scale. And many independent dealers don't even know what that looks like. They don't know what to do. Who hires first? What's the pay plan? What do we do now? We've got 2 salespeople, we're selling 40 cars, and we're like everywhere. We want to grow. Someone's got lotteries today. So this is the most difficult moment in all the sales department. 35 to 40 sales per month. Hire a third salesperson. You got to keep hiring salespeople. You got to hire a third salesperson to get you here. This will get you to 45 to 50. You're still going to be handling the sales and the F&I as the owner. You're still going to be spending paper. You're still going to be holding controlling growth, but it's getting better because at this point it's time to start developing a management team. And this is the point in your business where you can completely stop the whole unselling cars to it. Now, I get that there's this mentality, well, we all sell cars. What's everybody's job? This is the whole team. We have 100 employees, service, and everybody's in here. What's our number one job, everybody? Sell cars. You're right. But I mean, as an owner, this is a space where you can withdraw from selling cars. I'm still going to do sales management while you install your sales management team. Is this making sense? So this is great news. With 3 salespeople, you're going to be between 40 and 60. It's the hardest stretch to grow past. And it's time to hire your first manager. Time to hire your first manager. Now, when you hire your first manager, there's a problem with this. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced this. Hey guys, how are you? I don't know if you guys have ever experienced this, but when you hire your first manager, you're like, okay, do I get a sales manager or do I get an F&I manager? I don't know, right? Which one do I get? The other problem you have is you're not making enough money for a full-time job for either one of them to compete with the franchise. And let me give you some advice. It's better to hire an absolute rock star that you can barely afford than it is to hire a project. I promise you, I tell this to people all over the country, you're one hire away from a game changer in your business. You're one rock star away from a game changer in your business. How would you like to be like, I can just take all this and give it to you, and you're going to do better than me? Okay, let's try that. All right? And so, but how do you do that? You don't have enough money, you don't have a full-time job for sales manager, you don't have a full-time job for that manager, you certainly don't have a full-time job for both. And how do you recruit that rock star? That could easily go do this job down the road and say, well, they're selling 100 cars. You know the average franchise store in 2023 sold 100 cars? 104. The average franchise store in the United States of America last year sold 104 cars. That's not rocket science. They're not the, they're not that beauties. So, they're not that far ahead, right? So here's how you do this. This is literally how you do this. We employ all this way to put it at Derek and many other dealerships. Works like clockwork. So because you're only selling 50 units per month, what you have to do is you have to hire a hybrid. You have to hire somebody that's a sales manager and an F&I manager. Temporarily. I can go to Kat, and I can say, Kat, listen, I'm gonna pick up for this job, I'll make this job offer to you, we're really excited to have you, and you're really qualified. And so here's the plan. We're selling 50 cars a month, 60 cars a month now. You're gonna come in as the sales manager and the F&I manager. You're gonna protect the gross, you're gonna go out and you're gonna close deals, and then you're gonna spend the paper getting approved and invested in all that. That's your job. Not selling cars, you have 3 sales people selling cars, they're 40 to 60, right? Your job is to do both jobs. And here's how you do it. You pay them both, you pay them both pay plans. If they're getting paid a regular sales manager pay plan and an F&I pay plan on 50 cars, it would be the same as them having one job and getting a full pay plan. So it's 5 to 9% of the front end gross, sales manager, and it's 13% of the back. Now, if you want to write that down, F&I manager pay plans in the world is 13 to 16% of the back end profit and reserve. That's the pay against the draw. Salaries, it's a draw. Usually in this space, draws for an F&I manager around $5,000 to $6,000. Absolutely chargebacks. 2 reasons to do chargebacks. You can charge the F&I manager back commissions when you get a chargeback. Another way to do it is still you're going to pay them 85% of the back end of your profit. So I'll pay you 13% of 85% of the F&I gross for chargebacks. Or I could pay you 100% of the F&I gross and charge you back every time there's a trouble. So the secret here is I have one rock star to do both manager positions and give them a plan. You guys know you can get away with anything in the interview. You can do whatever you want, and you can lay whatever you want when you're offered a job. But the minute day one happens and they come on, you ask them, you're going to Jimmy Jack the vision, you're going to Jimmy Jack the pay plan, you're going to Jimmy Jack the responsibilities. It's like, you're trying to screw me. You're trying to cut my pay plan. No, you're going to make more money with this. This is a great pay plan. I stayed up all night on ChatGPT figuring this out. No. You're trying to screw me. You've known me for 15 years when you're my brother-in-law. You're trying to screw me, right? And so, but if you have a plan, if you have a vision, and you can say, yeah, you're going to wear this hat until we get to 90. When we get to 90, then I'm going to bust this job in half, and you're going to get to have a vote on whether you want to be the sales manager or the F&I manager. When I get the final vote, I'm sure we'll agree. And once we get that, we're going to hire the other job in full time, and we're going to run like that, right? So that's a plan to get from 50 to 90 with one person to compete with a franchise, to get a rock star, to put in a vision from the beginning and tell them what you're going to do. Got the pay plan figured out, got the game plan figured out, they will say, this is exciting. So the structure from 40 to 60 sales, you've got you, the dealer, you've got 3 sales pros, and what we're doing here is we're adding sales and F&I manager. Doing one job. Does that make sense? You're adding sales and F&I manager. Now, 40 to 60 hiring manager. So full-time F&I managers can handle, and this is my space where F&I company. You know, full suite of consultants, service consultant, accounting consulting, sales consulting, operation consulting. But F&I's our wheelhouse. We have a team called the Wolf Pack, and it's hard to get on that team with Wolf Packs. They all run $3 grand copy from Wolf. Like, come to your dealership, kick you out of the way, sit on your DNS, run $3 grand copy. So, what is the sweet spot for the number of deals an F&I manager should be running is 75 to 80. 80, that's the sweet spot, paying 13 to 16% of the back end. Anything over that is you're starting to lose back end gross profit because they're so busy. And you have people waiting 2 hours to get into the scene because you're backlogged on Saturday. You know, some Saturdays nobody shows up, some Saturdays nobody shows up. And those days everybody shows up, it's like the salespeople are complaining because it's like, hey, I don't know what's going on with Joe. Yeah, we got to push that 3 deep. They've been like 45 minutes already. Nobody ever stands up. So 75 to 80 deals per month is full-time F&I. And why do I say that? Because we're in this 40 to 60 creative game plan, like the growth on staff. So, you know, you can't run out and hire a full-time F&I manager when you hit 75 because you got this intermediate, like hybrid sales and F&I manager right now in play, right? So typically you got to outgrow it a little bit, stretch it, and get to about 90 to 100. Once you get to 90 and 100, That's when you would serve the next day. But how do we get to 90 sales? Anybody got a game plan? Hire more salespeople. Can't sell them to salespeople. If the average salesperson in the United States is selling 16 cars a month, do the math. So we're gonna hire salesperson number 4 and salesperson number 5. That's the structure. You're the dealer, you got a hybrid restaurant manager, sales manager, you got 5 salespeople, that will get you to 80 to 100 salespeople. Yes, sir. That's a good question. The question is how many salespeople do I need per unit in inventory? And it depends on your turn. Think about it this way. If you had 20 cars in stock, if you turn them every 30 days, you need 1 salesperson. If you had 40 cars in stock and you're running 6 turns per year, and you have 1 salesperson, good chance you can increase your turn by that. So you just take the number of cars you have, the day supply, and do the math with the salesperson, and it'll tell you where you're at. But it's a turn per salespeople question. Well, in terms of indicator, you could be missing deals because you need to hire another salesperson because you're missing deals. And if you would hire another salesperson, it would increase your turn at the same inventory level, which means you're next. Remember those levers I was talking about? Inventory goes directly along with what Dan's saying. I got to increase my inventory over here on this screen while I'm doing this. And I push those 2 levers together. So, and I don't have enough of them. So this is the structure created in 90. Then we're going to get rid of that hybrid, promote them to 1 full-time job, sales manager or F9 manager, whatever their strength is, and then hire full-time F9 and go into more of a tradition. Now, people always ask me, well, what about the freedom of grade? I haven't seen it work very much. I have a couple of stores, we got guys selling 350 out of Indiana, that's been doing freedom of grade for 20 years. Has no F9 department. The salesperson does the whole deal. The sales team has no turnover. They've all been there on average for 15 years. So they know the banks, and they, it's a different animal. But I haven't seen a whole lot of freedom of grade work. 100 and beyond. At this point, you split the jobs, you hire a full-time F9 manager or sales manager, respectively. This allows both to be making competitive wages. 90 to 100, you can afford to take full load against the retail. How many cars are they selling this year? 140. 100 cars. You can't afford to have both a full-time sales manager, full-time F9 manager, and you are managing new business, not his business. Dersol started in a tiny town, Desert, Arkansas, with 1,500 people in a shed with 1 car. When I met him, he was selling 20 cars a month. The store that store in Desert is now selling 130 cars a month. At many years old. That store sold 130 cars a month in a town of 1,500 people in the middle of nowhere. Literally, people are driving an hour and buying cars from them every single day. And then we just opened his first franchise. This picture's from about 4 weeks ago in West Memphis. So he's selling 130 in Desert. This store's going to sell at least 150. And so this guy's well on his way to selling 300 cars a month. And he figured it out. And by the way, we use this playbook for the sales structure. We did this exact thing to take it from 20 to 300. That's all the time I have. I'll put up here a few resources for you if you want to see the picture. The first one is 20 years. If you're interested in 20 years, we'd love to have you. I think we're the best leader program in the country by far. So if you want more information on 20 years, you can go on. I got a whole bunch of stuff like this talk. I do a lot of long forms on YouTube. They're free. We talk about this. We talk about pillars of sales. We talk about growth. We talk about everything. Lots of free research for you on YouTube. YouTube.com/Justin M. And then obviously if you have any needs for F&I or reinsurance, we'll talk to you about that too. But outside, if you have questions and you want to ask me some questions, I'm going to have the backups for the next speaker to get here. I'm going to go to the hall, and if you have some questions for me, be glad to talk to you. We do have 3 minutes. Does anybody have a question about growing your business or Thank you guys for having me.
Justin, that was great. Thank you very much.